Now, the best overall whole day of matches was definitely Saturday.
Oh,
and it started off awesome. That
was probably
We'll get to another good match.
London versus LA Valiant was
the best played match
of the week. Hands down. Actually, probably the best match so far. I think it topped Seoul and Dallas. Like, it was absolutely incredible.
And it was beautifully
Every
played,
single
too.
map was just like, this could go either way. Like, just when you think one team starts to build up momentum, the other team comes in and wipes it out. And it was just back and forth like that. Even though London took the first two, LA coming back.
But they were close, though. It wasn't
great. It wasn't just like, oh, well, they just dominated. No, it was just superior play from both of them.
From both teams.
Yeah.
And you had DPS guys going off on both sides, and you had outstanding tank play and Agilities
was a monster in this game.
Fucking Roadhog. Right. Give me more of that Roadhog.
Oh man,
guys, if you're listening, more Roadhog.
Yes, but honestly, I don't think there was a single character that Agilities was playing as that he was not just fucking going off,
ripping people apart.
Yeah,
and last week we had said we thought this game was going to be close because of the short turnaround. Because they had that long match with Dallas that got over at 1 o'clock here.
Yeah.
1 o'clock Eastern time. But they had the early match at
they still had to play at noon.
Yeah. 11.
No, it was 11, yeah.
11 a.m. So that was you're talking a less than 12-hour turnaround.
Right.
Well, roughly a 12-hour turnaround LA time to here.
Right.
That's still a short period of time to get, back into things. And I'm not making excuses for them. I'm just saying we thought that this could be a thing and make this match a little bit closer. But I don't think that even mattered.
I really don't think it did either. I think
both teams were just both insane.
They were just both really on it, and it was just it was the most fun match to watch, and just this is the must watch game if you are interested in this at all.
If you want to show someone, you want to show someone what Overwatch esports is, show them this match. There weren't too many times where you're going, oh my god, he's so out of position. This is horrible. It was just really good play on both sides. It was well thought out.
Right.
I mean, there were a couple, the Valiant got them on their
mistakes, but that was just teams taking, each one took advantage of each other's mistakes and then and punished them, but then it would just kept going back and forth like that. And it was just, if this is a preview of what we're going to see later down the line, and this just gets me that much more excited for the playoffs in this league, because
these teams are,
oh man, this is going to be so good. If this is the level of competition that we're going to be getting from this week in, week out, I
was just watching it going, this is unbelievable. The only map that actually was it wasn't even bad. I mean, it wasn't a clunker. Valiant took the taking Oasis, which is London's kryptonite at this point.
Right.
They lost
for some reason. That's the only map that they just cannot seem to get a handle on.
It's a weird tank-heavy map.
It is.
And their tanks aren't bad.
But their tank play is definitely not their strong suit.
And their Roadhog play is good, but it's not it's not like
Agilities was doing on Roadhog.
Or like when Maniton was playing against them. They need to up their Roadhog game a little bit. And their Reinhardt game.
Yeah.
I think, too. I think that hurt them a little bit in that. And especially on that map, a lot of people are using Reinhardt's Zarya. That was just an entertaining match. I mean, London did sweep them in the overtime, but it still was fun to watch the whole thing. It was just.
I can't. There's not enough good things I can say about this match.
Other than that, the Oasis map, every map it was just well fought.
Yeah.
Even that, I mean, there was, like I said, there was some.
But yeah, even Oasis, it was still well fought, but you could tell that. That is not London's best map at all.
No.
That's probably their worst map. Obviously we won't know for sure until we get to stage 2 and all the rest of the maps get played.
Yeah. The worst match today, which wasn't bad.
No, this was still it
was fun and competitive.
It was competitive, even though New York pretty much dominated the whole game. But it was also the first sighting of Pine outside of a
King of the Hill flick hit scan.
Mm-hmm. We saw some tracer play from him, and I think we're finally confirming, okay, this is why Pine is a specialist. Not necessarily bad, but not on the same level as Sabioli And that's the best. That's the best possible situation for them, honestly.
Because if you have either Libero or CBOB on the tracking hit scan, and then you have Pine on either Widow or McCree, what's wrong with that?
I think one of the best matchups that they have, one of the best lineups that we haven't seen a whole lot of, is Pine playing with Libero, because usually
that was good.
Pine is subbing in for Libero, but seeing those two play together, oh man, that is that is a
fun.
Two-headed monster you do not want to fuck with.
No, like I said, there's a fucking
Libero will you go after Pine.
Ruthless.
Libero will destroy you.
Yeah,
I mean, Sabiobi will do the same thing, but like for some reason, Libero when they go after Pine, he just is just on it.
Because he knew, and I think Sabiobi knows too, but I think Sabiobi takes more advantage of the backline when the tanks dive in on Pine, where Libero was doing they're diving in on Pine, I'm just going to kill everybody around.
Right.
Of course, you have the Orb Assassin doing his fucking balls of death.
Well, also, that was also another thing. We didn't have Jonak on the first map.
Yeah.
And that was real weird.
Was.
But it worked out because, man, that was probably one of the fastest Dorado maps I've seen yet.
Yeah.
That was just an absolute ass kicking. This is where I think you saw LA's weakness with their tanks. Because, man, iRemix was just
he was getting smoked.
His ass handed to him.
Yeah, and he
tried to jump in and initiate and just picked off right away.
Yeah, right away.
And then they have to reset.
I mean, when you're playing Winston, you're going to die. Sometimes you do the sacrifice job.
He was trying to jump in and just get things going, and like they were killing him so fast that his team couldn't even get the rest of their teammates in.
Well, even who was subbing in for Jonak? He was pretty much ruthless with the fucking Zen too.
Yeah,
because it seems like anytime iRemix would do the dive in, he would be down to half health because
he had a Discord.
And he already got fucking right-clicked.
Right.
And that's the thing. These guys are so good with their supports are amazing.
Yeah.
And Arc is still, like I keep saying, your best
probably
Mercy.
The best Mercy in the league right now.
He gives up nothing. He doesn't. His positioning is so damn good.
Yeah.
I mean, they get caught out of position once in a while, but
for the most part, their positioning is just it.
Yeah, and they have very intelligent. They have intelligent DPS players. But you have good shot caller and someone that's shot calling and playing that kind of Mercy.
It's just gross.
Ridiculous.
I mean, there's not too much more we can say other than I think this might be the match that really showed New York better than Seoul?
Could be.
I mean, obviously we'll find out this week.
Yep,
when they get matched up. So that's the match to watch. But
Borg versus Klingons.
I really,
I can't wait to see it.
I'm starting to feel like New York might be the superior team.
Well, we will. I think they're on the same level. We'll see. And I think it's going to be. That's good. If that doesn't go 5, I'll be surprised.
Shocked if that doesn't go to 5.
Like if Seoul does something like wipe them, I will never say anything disparaging or that Seoul's not going to win again.
Right. If one of these teams ends up dominating, I don't think that will be a team that can be stopped by anybody.
Except for the other one if New York does it to Seoul, I think Seoul doing it to them again later on down the line. Yeah. But if Seoul rolls them, that is just, you think you're on their level and then they just knock your fucking teeth out.
Yeah. And that's honestly, that's
it could happen.
Very
but
possible.
I don't think it's going to. I think that's going to be a great freaking match.
I think that's just going to be two unstoppable forces going at each other, and it's going to be a really fun matchup.
Speaking of a fun matchup,
yes.
Now, the best match, I think, was London and the Valiant. The most fun one was Boston and San Francisco.
Yeah.
That match was dope.
Yeah, that was just two teams just really fighting.
They're fighting hard.
We're on this, like, two teams on the same level.
Yeah, exactly. Same level.
Just duking it out. Trading points back and forth. I mean, probably... Because, like, as soon as you think Boston started to really get some momentum with Horizon, and then San Francisco just comes right back and punches them right in the mouth on Oasis.
Yeah, and, that was the thing. That Oasis map, if you have above-board tank play, in this case, San Francisco, I think, did.
Yeah.
Better than Boston.
Yeah, San Francisco definitely has the superior tank play in this matchup.
Because Nomi's really good, and Nevix.
Yeah.
That's a good duo. They're not. Are they up there in some of the the like Poco Fraggy realm? I don't think so.
Right.
Quite yet. They're good. Or even Houston's tanks are great. The Oasis map was the tank play came out in that one, and that was just. We've been talking a lot about Oasis because it came up a lot this weekend.
Right.
But Boston did a really good job on Horizon. That's one of those things I think where you learn. Mm-hmm. When they played Seoul earlier in the week,
for sure,
they learned, and they learned a lot. I mean, they kicked their ass on Eichenwald too.
Yeah.
They have.
Well, I mean that's
they not kicked their ass. They
right. Well, I mean, it really came down to Lijiang Tower, and that was just a battle for every single point. That was probably
that was exciting. That was exciting.
King of the Hill map that I've seen yet.
And that was the best overtime because it went all the way through.
They could either take both teams at any point could have taken them, and they just kept duking it out. And it was like, did each one go to them almost having 99%?
Yeah, they were
on each time. Like it was.
I think so. I think that was up there. Yeah, on that Lijiang. Baby Base playing McCree, which you don't see too much on that one, I guess.
Right,
there's one point where he had a Deadeye. I'm like, are you gonna use it? You gonna use it? You gonna use it? Come on, the clock's ticking.
Right, and just watching Baby Bay and Dream Casper go back and forth with each other was that was so fun to watch.
Yeah, that was. Those two teams are very similar.
I think this was a coming out match for Dream Casper.
Yeah.
Because I've been waiting for him to really take over a game, and I think he finally did.
Yeah, he did. He was phenomenal, and the whole match on the whole. And I liked him from the start. He was one of those people guys that weren't like, the Fletas Rujihangs or, even Sabiobi, guys that I wanted to watch, and he was one of them.
Yeah.
And him and Silk Thread were the two of the guys, and they have been steadily becoming big players on their teams and doing a lot more than I think. I know a lot of people knew that these guys were good, but I think the general public, I think these guys are coming out and showing people what they actually can do.
Yes.
And if he continues to play like that, Boston is going to be big trouble for a lot of people.
Yeah.
They already are.
Definitely.
They are 1-3. It's not a bad 1-3.
That is not indicative of the talent that is on that team.
And the improvement that goes on every single match for them.
Right. I think they've just steadily improved every single game, I feel like. And I feel like the same with the Shock, honestly.
And the Shock has improved a lot, too.
Both of those teams have really come a long way from those first couple matches.
We had, Dante was playing phenomenal.
Yeah.
They were playing great.
Yeah.
And
that was definitely one of the best matches of the day or of the week. I mean, two of the best matches happened on Saturday for sure.
And if you didn't tune in on Saturday, you missed the good stuff.
Yes.
Not that the other matches were bad. Well, a couple of them were Shanghai.
Yeah, pretty much any game in Shanghai.
Even the 0-4 match was one-sided, but you could see the Gladiators, but it was almost like they were toying with them, I guess. Right. There were some points where you're thinking the Gladiators were going to take a point, maybe a map, but the other two matches are so fucking good.
Yeah.
I mean, this is why you watch this league.
Yep.
Those two matches.
Definitely. Oh yeah, and it just
alone.
You can't beat what we got this weekend.
Well, you can't beat overtime anyway in any sport.
Exactly.
It adds to the tension.
Right, and you get 3 games that go into overtime this week.
Finally.
And I'm hoping that we kind of get more and more of that as we go on.
I think so.
There's going to be more evenly matched games in general, and
Absolutely.
I'm very much looking forward to that, especially this week.
This week we got some good ones coming up.
Some phenomenal matches, but we'll get into that.
We'll get into that on the next one. Yeah, we're going to dive into that. And by the way, speaking of this week, all right, pick wise, we both made a nice rebound. Overall, Kel's at
11-13.
11-13.
Which is a much better improvement over the 4-8 start that I had.
Well, and there were a couple of, honestly, in those picks, there was a couple of them where they could have went either way.
Right.
Especially the Saturday games.
It's picking picking the Saturday games at the time that we did probably was not great for me, but that's how we've been doing it. That's how we're going to keep doing it. So,
and honestly, you might change your mind, you might not.
Right. The only thing that I probably would have changed my mind on is I would have picked Florida over Shanghai. That's really the only one that I probably would have changed because it was a toss-up with Boston and San Francisco.
Yeah, definitely.
And then I think we thought that the Valiant would do better than they did against London, but
I mean, it was close. That was
still a really
still the best match of the weekend
for sure.
I went 15-9 so I hit you on a couple of head-to-head ones. You had Boston. I mean, the last match I took San Francisco, and you took Boston, and then I took my boys, and you took the Dragons. I don't think that is going to happen again.
Yeah. I don't think I'll be picking Shanghai at all this
Yeah, if you lived in
it's going to be a little bit.
If you bet on Shanghai and lived in Vegas, you'd be broke.
Right.
That is our recap of the week, and we'll be back at you with some previews for next week, our picks. Don't forget, if you like us, hit the subscribe button.
Subscribe,
hit the bell, get alerts, all that good stuff.
Check us out on Twitter and soon to be Twitch. We will be doing some Twitch stuff. Maybe not this week, but
we got some Twitch stuff coming up.
Twitch stuff.
Yes, where we're gonna be playing some quick matches and some deathmatch. Maybe jump into some comp. You can see how shitty we are, and we're gonna be doing that and talking about Overwatch League while we're doing it. Kind of make it an open conversation.
Yeah.
With that. So, all right, guys. We'll talk to you later.
Later, guys.